Operators of a game show are setting up a color spin wheel for prizes. And so here we have this color spin wheel. There are 18 segments on the wheel, and each segment has an equal chance of stopping on the arrow. The Y stands for yellow, the G stands for green, the B stands for blue, the R stands for red, the W stands for white, and the P stands for purple. Determine the probability of getting G. Now G stands for green. And so the first thing we have to determine is how many greens are there on this color spin wheel. And so we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, all right, and there are no more greens. There are only 4 greens. And so there are 4 greens on this color spin wheel, but there are 18 segments on the wheel. So the probability of getting a G, or the probability of getting G, or the probability of getting green is 4 over 18. Why? Because there are 4 G's and there are 18 segments, right? 18 segments. Next, we divide both top and bottom by 2. So we divide 4 by 2 and we divide 18 by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 18 divided by 2 is a 9. So we have 2 over 9. That's the probability of getting G. Next, we have to determine the probability of getting B or R. So we have to determine the probability of getting blue or red. Now, how many blues do we have? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and we have 5. So we have 5 blues. So that means that the probability of getting a blue is going to be 5 over 18 because there are 5 blues and there are 18 segments. Now we need to determine the probability of getting a red. So how many reds do we have? Well, we have 1, we have 2. Are there any other reds? We have 3. Okay, are there any other reds? No. So we only have 3 reds, right? So we have 3 reds and there are 18 segments. So the probability of getting a red is going to be 3 over 8. Now they say that we want to determine the probability of getting blue or red. So because they use the word or, so we have to add these two fractions because they want the probability of getting blue or red. So we have to add these. So we have 5 over 18 plus 3 over 18, and that gives us 8 over 18. And we simplify this fraction, divide both top and bottom by 2. So we have 8 divided by 2 and 18 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. So the probability of getting blue or red is going to be 4 over 9. Next, it says that operators of a game show are setting up a color spin wheel for prizes. There are 18 segments on the wheel, and each segment has an equal chance of stopping on the arrow. Which colors have a 1 over 6 chance of occurring? And so let's look at the probability of getting a red. Now, red occurs how many times? Well, red occurs, this is a 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So red occurs 3 times. So that means that the probability of getting a red is going to be what? 3 over 18 because there are 3 reds and there are 18 segments. If we divide both top and bottom by 3, we get 3 divided by 3, which is 1, and 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So one color that has a 1 over 6 chance of occurring is red. Now let's look at the probability of purple, right? So let's look at purple. So we have 1 purple right there, 2 purple right there, and 3 purples. Is there any other purples that we have? So purple, purple, purple. Let's look. Nope, no other purple. So there are only 3 purples, right? So that means that purple occurs 3 times and there are 18 segments. So the probability of purple is going to be 3 over 8. If we simplify this fraction, we divide both top and bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3 is definitely 1, and 18 divided by 3 is 6. So that means that the probability of getting purple is 1 over 6. So which colors have 1/6 chance of occurring? That would be red and purple. These colors have a 1/6 chance of occurring. Next, let's move on to the next question. It says, which color must the white segment be painted for 3 colors to have an equal chance of occurring? So we already know that the probability of red, based on our previous answer, is 1/6. We already know the probability of purple is 1/6. So these 2 colors have an equal chance of occurring because both of them, their probabilities are 1/6. So can we find another color whose probability is 1/6 as well? And if we can, then that'll be able to help us to determine which color must the white segment be painted for 3 colors to have an equal chance. So let's look at yellow. All right, let's look at yellow. If we were to take the white segment, right? So let's take this white segment, and let's say that we take this white segment and we paint it yellow, right? So that means that this white segment is no longer white. This white segment is yellow, right? So this is yellow, right? So let's say that this is yellow, this is Y, right? So if we were to take this, this white segment and change it to yellow, right? What would then be the probability of yellow? Well, if this white segment is painted yellow, then we'd have 1 yellow, then we have 2 yellow. Would we have any other yellow? Yes, this one right now. So if this white segment was painted yellow, we would have 1 yellow, we would have 2 yellows, and we would have 3 yellows. And that's all the yellows that we would have. So that means that if the white segment is painted yellow, that means that the probability of yellow would be what? 3/18. We divide both top and bottom by 3, so we get 1/6. So if the white segment is painted yellow, then red, purple, and yellow would have an equal chance of occurring because all of their probabilities would be 1/6. And so the color that white must be painted, so that means that the color that the white segment must be painted for 3 colors to have an equal chance of occurring is yellow. So the white segment must be painted yellow for 3 colors to have an equal chance of occurring. Okay, next. It says the game managers need to paint the white segment. If the wheel, okay, let's not include this part. Let's just start at D. If the wheel was spun 36 times, how many times would you expect blue to occur? If the wheel was spun 36 times, how many times would you expect blue to occur? Okay, first of all, what is the probability of blue? The probability of blue, how many times does blue occurs? Well, blue occurs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So blue occurs 5 times, and there are 18 segments. So it's going to be 5/18. That is the probability of getting a blue, right? Remember, the wheel is spun 36 times. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say 5/18 multiplied by 36. And we put 36/1. And so we say, okay, what is 5 times 36? Well, 5 times 36 is 180. And what is 18 times 1? Well, 18 times 1 is just 18. So we have 180/18. And so we divide these two. So that gives us 10. So that means if the wheel was spun 36 times, we can expect blue to occur 10 times. And that's the answer to this question, 10.